Last time I talked to you, it was last Thursday, um, March 2nd, and we're one day before the deadline of Friday, March 3rd for your intro slides. When I looked at what you guys had on your slides later on that day and Friday morning, a lot of you still had a whole lot of work to do. So I'm really hoping that you got it done somehow. Um, but um, we need to talk about what you guys need to be doing to meet that past due deadline and move forward to our next deadline, because again, we've got deadlines most Fridays between now and DOL week. So want to first of all remind you guys to take a look at your DOL checklist document. Uh, you should have already finished the intro slides. This week, you need to have a complete draft of your DOL reflection 1 slides done. Next week, um, that will be revised to a final version after some feedback and some peer edits. Then we do a similar cycle with slides 2, or reflection 2 slides. And then we do practice DOL presentations the week of April 10th through 14th. Note, your document might say March 10th through 14th. You need to fix that. That was a typo, human error on my part. So back to the intro slides. I talked to you guys last Thursday about these intro slides. You have a link to them. And I want to note something that I did on these example intro slides that I would like you to do on yours. So some of you guys did have some stuff down on your slides where you had your visual design figured out, but I didn't necessarily have a good grasp of what you were planning to say in that space. So it was an extremely good idea. I would like you all to do this. So down here in the speaker note space for that slide and all slides, you should actually write out what you plan to say. So we've already talked about these slides. Start here. I would state my name and say, "Welcome to my defensive learning." And then I could go on to this slide itself. And as this slide was up on the screen, I could say what I have down here in my speaker notes. Hi, folks. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm excited to talk to you about who I am, what I want to be, and how what I'm doing at New Tech is helping me towards that. Much to my parents' chagrin, I'm a huge video game nerd. I love playing video games, especially open-world action RPGs like Skyrim and Elden Ring. A few years back, noticing that I had some aptitude for math and technology as well as a strong creative streak, I thought maybe I could turn my love of video games into a way to make money, not just spend money, by becoming a video game designer. When it came time to choose a high school, I gravitated towards New Tech because of its computer science pathway and video game design course. Now that I'm almost ready to graduate, I'm glad to say that I've prepared for a future as a video game designer by leveling up my coding skills and agency, as well as my storytelling and collaboration through the opportunities presented in my classes. Today, I'm going to talk to you about 2 projects I've worked on that show what I've achieved in those fields. First project I'll be talking about is my video game that I developed in my video game design class, Computer Science 2. And then what would follow is the slides where you would unpack that project. Those slides on your template are slides 4 through 12. 4 through 12. Those are the slides that you need to be working on this week. So you should have already completed slide 1 and 3. You're skipping slide 2 because that's the instructions. You should complete slide 1 and 3. Note, you might have decided that your intro need multiple slides, and so you split it up. But I'm talking about the numbers from the template. If you are looking back and realize, what I did isn't good enough, or you know for a fact you never did, you need to go back and do that. And this week is harder if you've not met that deadline. But now, you should be moving on to reflection 1, slides 4 through 12. Now, hopefully when you're writing your goal statement, when you're working on your intro slide, you had identified what learning outcomes you're going to talk about and what projects you were going to talk about to prove that, and how that connects to your stated career. And hopefully you've already done a mini DOL on that project. And so you already have slides somewhere else that you can go and mine to be producing this. You can go and copy from those slides, drop it in here, double check again so it's prompted on here, because some stuff's different. Like, your answer to the driving question is specifically prompted. The references to your other group members need to be dropped out. You need to focus in on a single bullet point row. You need to make sure that your reflection connects clearly back to your stated goal of being a video game designer, being a train engineer, being a content producer, achieving your bachelor's degree, opening your own business, whatever it is that you guys identified as your goal. You need to make that connection between the two learning outcomes you're talking about, the knowledge and thinking for that respective course, and one additional learning outcome, agency, collaboration, written communication. You need to make those connections between what it is that you said you wanted to do and what you did in the class that gave you those skills that you're now going to use when you go out there in real life. So, slides 4 through 12, we should see all of the direction text gone and replaced with your actual planned text and images to illustrate the point and the steps of the project. We should see your project actually showcased. We should see the rubric rows that you're choosing to reflect on with clear annotation as far as where you rate yourself. We should see evidence that you're pointing to in your work that shows why you gave yourself that rating. We should see the same process repeated for the second learning outcome. And then we should have a clear connection back to what it is that you're planning to do. And these slides should be complete. And then hopefully on each of these slides, we're going to see some stuff down the speaker notes about what it is that you're going to plan to say. This is a complete draft that we're going for. So all this should be done. The more you get done, the more we can get feedback on. And we're going to get the perfect version at the end of next week on St. Patrick's Day when you guys have gone through a feedback and peer edit process. But we need that complete draft this Friday in order for you to do that. And if you didn't meet the last week's deadline, this whole process is going to be harder. So you can still catch up. But if you guys keep missing deadlines, things can get really painful come April 17 and 18 when you are doing your DOL presentations. Anyway, you guys have time in advisory. You have time in 7-8. You have time in the rest of your lives, whatever it is that you do. I don't know. I think you got time to do this. It's just a matter of accepting the reality that it's a graduation requirement and buckling down and doing it. Good luck, guys. Let Grossman, your advisors, or me know if you have any questions.